Recording in progress.
We continue with business, chapter 8 today. Decisions on location.
Yes.
Yeah, a business would have been set up. You have the business idea. You have that mindset to set up a business. But it is important to know where the business has to be located. That means where is it going to be? Where are you going to put the business? The location. That is the point there. So you need to put a business. You need to place your location where it will be, strategic and where customers can reach. But whatever the case might be, it is important for a business to know where it is, to find a suitable location for its establishment. So we read anyway. Factors influencing the location and relocation of businesses. Factors influencing the location and relocation of businesses. Historically, many manufacturers were located near to the source of power and raw materials. Steel and chemical-heavy industries were located close to power sources, such as coal, and raw materials such as water and iron ore. The steel industry was successful in the Ruhr and Rhine Valley in Germany because all these resources were available in the locality. Today, electricity and gas can be supplied to most places. Therefore, manufacturers may not have to be located close to power sources. They are more likely to consider other factors such as those below. So, before now, as a manufacturing company, like a company that is in the secondary sector of production, mostly they would always want to locate closer to where the raw materials are. They need raw materials, yes or no? So they want a proximity.
Primary sector.
Yeah, in the primary sector, yeah. So they want to get whatever business that they have, they want their factory to be located closer to where the source of raw materials are, where the source of resources are. So this saves them a lot of money. This saves them a lot of cost. It reduces their cost of production. So that's the point they are making here. So, but that is for a manufacturing business. But there are other things a business has to put into consideration when deciding the location of industry. Number one, proximity to the market itself. So when we talk about proximity to the market, this is about closeness to the market.
Closeness?
To the market, yes. Businesses that make large or heavy products may be located close to their customers to keep transport costs down. For example, we're not located a factory in Tangier, a port in North Africa, with proximity to the European market. So basically here we're talking about the closeness of the closeness to your customers. Closeness to your customers, your customer base. That is proximity to the market.
Yes.
Do you get it? So one of the factors that you can put into consideration when locating your business is how close they are to your customers. So you need to understand your customer base. Where are your customer base coming from? Is it in the north, the south, the west, or the east? So if it's from the north, locate your business closer to the north. That is the point they are making here. I think it's clear.
Yeah.
The second factor is proximity to labor. We're talking about accessibility to your workers, to the workers available, like accessibility to the skilled workers. Sometimes the kind of business you do would warrant you to have specific skilled workers. So that means you need to locate your business.
You need to find a location which has
which is closer to those workers you would need for your production or operation. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
And that's not the only thing about labor. Let's read anyway. Also, labor skills are not okay. Yeah, they said business needing large numbers of workers have to consider wage cost and labor skills. Wage rates may vary in different regions and large companies. Large companies may also consider locating in countries where labor is very cheap. So, for the factor about labor, the reward for labor is wages or salary.
Yes.
So, if you think about, if you have to locate your business and you are putting into consideration proximity or closeness to work for labor, it means you're not just going to talk about labor. You still have to talk about how cheap or expensive labor is in those areas you are choosing or in that area.
Now you're gonna think about how good
the cost of labor.
Yeah, how good the cost of the labor is. You need to think how you can get labor.
A cheaper one.
Yeah, cheaper.
So how do you get a cheap labor? You get a cheap labor where the supply of labor is high. You get the point I'm saying? You get cheap labor where the supply of labor is high. So because there's demand for labor and there's supply for labor. There's demand for and supply of.
So if I need a business where I need too many workers, and they are cheap, they are okay with working in cheap,
You have to find.
And you find a location for it.
You need to find the location for it. That
for
is
a
the
perfect
point.
location to it.
Which means where the supply of labor is higher than the demand for.
Exactly.
When the supply of labor is high, it means the wage rate will fall. But when the demand for labor is high, the wage rate is likely to increase.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Understandable.
If employers are looking for you, they pay you more. But if you are looking for a job, you get less. Do you understand? That is the proximity of labor. Is it clear? To labor, is it clear?
Yes.
The third factor is proximity to materials. Places that use large amounts of raw materials that are difficult to transport may choose to locate their premises very close to their sources. So here it's about the raw materials needed. Some businesses, they need large quantities of raw material, and setting up their business in a location that is far away from these raw materials might mean that they pay so much on transportation, and that increases their cost.
Yes.
So do you get the point there? Is it clear, please? So here they said, okay, some businesses such as large supermarket manufacturers require large areas of land to locate buildings, staff car parks, and other facilities. As a result, they look to minimize land and property cost. For example, they may set up in areas where premises are cheap, business rates are low, land has been allocated for business development, such as a brownfield site or greenfield site. So what they are saying is this: some businesses, they need large numbers of land.
Yes.
To locate their business, maybe schools, factories. So the amount of land needed is much. So they cannot get that in areas that are closer to the city. So they need to find a location a location where cheap lands are available. That is the point they are making here. Yes. You get it? Not only that, you might also think about the rate of tax. So some businesses will locate their business where the tax rate is low, because when the tax rate is low, it reduces your cost of production and it increases your profits. You get it? So this is another factor.
So basically, what it talks about, if I want to make a business, particularly I want to make a business, I have to find a location that is extremely cheap, no matter what. It's taxes, labor, whatever.
Yeah.
If I want to make profit and I want to make a business, and I want to make profit and I want to use less money for it, invest my money less, I have to find a perfect location, really a perfect location for cheap.
Yes. So
cheap everything.
Listen. You won't get everything at once. There's always an opportunity cost. Listen.
Yeah.
What is opportunity cost? There's always going to be a foregone alternative. You might find a location that is cheap in terms of labor, but the land there is high, is expensive.
Okay.
So sometimes you have to let go of one for another. You get the point. But what we are saying specifically is that as a business, you have to when you are setting up your location, there are some factors that you have to put into consideration. Not all factors will be available for you. You understand? Not all the factors will be available for you. But you need to set out those ones that you think are useful, are important in setting up your own location.
Yes.
If you are a school, you don't need raw materials. Do you need raw materials? If you are setting up a school, do you need raw materials?
No.
So you don't need to locate where raw materials are.
I need products to do it, not raw materials.
You need customers. You need students.
Yeah.
So you need to locate your business in a city. Do you understand? So
exactly.
Is it clear now? So the point is, when you are locating your business, there are factors that you have to put into consideration, which the determinants are the kind of business you do. Clear? Is it clear, please?
Yeah.
The last one here, proximity to competitors. What is competitor? Who are the competitors? Those that you do the same business with, right?
Yeah.
Those are you.
Like Pepsi versus Coca-Cola.
Great. That's a typical example. So those that sell almost the same product as you do, or those that render almost the same service as you do, they are your competitors. That's why we said competition is the rivalry that exists between two or more firms trying to sell to the same customers, to the same customer.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great. So another factor that you have to put into consideration is how close are your competitors to that location. Sometimes you need to be far away from your competitors. Do you get it? Yeah. Because if you are closer to them, then you have to share the same customers. Because there's no customer in heaven. The same customers are here. So you might need to think that, staying closer to my competitors might meant that my revenue would fall. So you might need to stay far away from your competitors. Did you get it? So is it clear or not?
Clear.
Great. So these are factors that you put into consideration when you have to determine or decide location of an industry.
If there is competitors, the same location as mine, have to be far away.
Yes, you have. It depends on if you think going closer to them would not jeopardize your sales or your revenue or profit, you can stay. But when you feel that, oh, based on the feasibility study you did, staying closer to them will do more harm than good, then you stay far away from them. Is it clear?
Clear.
So these are the factors that influence decision about locations: proximity to labor, proximity to raw materials, proximity to market, proximity to competitors.
Yes.
Clear?
Exactly.
Good.